you are learning Power BI, then this is the series for you. Start from video 1 to learn all the basic concepts of Power BI. This particular series had more than 150 plus videos to teach you each and every concepts around DEX, around Power Query, so that you can enhance your skills in Power BI. Subscribe to the channel. Hello and welcome to another video on beginner tutorial series, and in today's video we are going to discuss one Power Query function, Table.Column. So let's look at the definition of this function. Table.Column, Power Query or AM function, it can take a table and then it requires a column name as a text. So you have to give a column name as a text and then it returns a list, and list is the value of that column. So one example has been given here. So there is a column and then they have created a table using record. So this is basically a table, and then in the double quotes they have given a name, and that is the name which is basically for the column name, and for the column name the values has been returned here as a list. And we will try out these examples in Power BI. So let's jump onto the Power BI. So I go to Power BI, and in Power BI, how do I reach Power Query? So home, transform data, that will take me to Power Query. Now what we will do is, first of all, I have lots of table with me already. So why don't I take the advantage of these tables and try to take out one column, and then we will try to copy code of one of these tables only, and try to again see that if we can take out a column from that. So let's look at one of the tables. So I have this table 1 which has a column A. Okay, and let's look at the right click advanced editor, how it has been created. So it has been created using hash table, and it has a column A, B and C, and then A has a value A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, F. Okay, so these kind of values it has. So let's try out create a new blank source. So we go to the home tab, new source, blank query. A blank source is created, and I can double click here and say table column 1, and I right click here and say advanced editor, and I will use that function Table.Column. A very simple function. Table.Column takes a table. So table 1 is the table which we can give. So I type table space 1 and C hash, and double quotes is how we give a name when there is a space in Power Query or AM language, and then we need inside the double quotes I need to give. So this is actually table name only. This is not in table name inside double quote hash and double quotes. When there is a space, this is how we use. Now inside the double quotes means as a string. Now we need to give the column name, and the column name was A. And if the name is correct, then it's going to display. If the name is wrong, I can show you. If you give a wrong name, then it might give error to you. It will give error to you. And then you see A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, H, F, and it is coming as a list. You can see this is a list, and then there is a convert to table option is also available. So I was able to get this. So I got a column separated out as a list. So basically, if you remember in the past, when we need a column from a table and you want to create a table out of it, or we want to remove duplicates and count of it, so instead of using the flow, so if you remember, we have this flow where we right click here and we say add as a new query. So instead of new query, you can actually take the reference of this table column and can do it. So table column can help you out. Now can it take more than one? So let's say this table has A, B and C columns. So can I give a comma separated like this one? Let's say A comma B. It will not take. So there is no option like 2. It's only there is an option for 1. So now what happens when the table itself is inside the code? So I go to the table 1, go to the advanced property, and I take this hash table code. So hash table is the table itself, isn't it? This is the complete table. Now I would like to put this code and then want to take it out. Okay, so let's create one more source for that. So let's go to the home, new source, blank query, and let's rename this. Right click and there is an option for rename. Fourth option, table call 2. Now I go again, right click and say advanced editor, and there this time I say Table.Column. But in the Table.Column, the first thing which I'm going to give is the table code itself. So the first code is going to give me the table. Now I don't have a table. The first code is going to give me the table. So table is created inside this one only, and then I give, let's say, column C. So I got a list Now this is what is available in the column C. Now I can convert it into a table. I can remove duplicates, I can reverse the item. These all things I can do. So let's say if there's a table and you want to take that one of the column and then want to separate out and then take a distinct and then want to create a separate table like a dimension table, you can use that. Now remember, the difference between that one and this one is that is going to create the complete copy of the code, means it's going to work at a separate table. But when you are going to do it, you are dependent on that table. So in this code, when I copied the code, remember that when I copied the table code, I'm not dependent on this one, but this is dependent on the first one. So let's say if I go here in the first table, I right click and I go to the advanced editor and let me change this to ABC1 DEF1 and I say done. So now this is ABC1 DEF1. What happens here? ABC1 and DEF1. What happens here? It is not okay. It's not ABC1 and DEF1, but let me go ahead and change it to column A because I've taken column C. Now because the code is here, unless I make it ABC1 and DEF1, it's not going to change. Okay, so that what we have to see is the code copied or is the reference of the column has been taken. So in this case, the we have taken a reference of the table basically when we are taking out the column. So we are actually taking the column and table. So table is basically already available, and that table we are taking, and then we are taking the A. Okay, so this is how it is working right now for us. So go ahead and try this out, means try from an existing table, try to create a table inside and try to see if you can create a separate table from one table. And when the table column code changes or the table gets new columns or new entries in the row, are you getting those rows or not? So you should get, in this case, when you give the complete table reference, means the table name itself, so you should be able to do that. So go ahead and try that out too. Let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Keep watching, keep asking questions in comments, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification for new videos. Thank you.